Hey, Amy Posner here, and I want to talk to you today about this constant drumbeat you hear in the business field, especially if you're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, if you're in one of the creative fields, copywriting, web design. You hear this constant drumbeat of six figures, achieve six figures. I want to unpack that a little bit today. Okay, so you've probably heard it, this drumbeat of like, get to six figures, get to six figures, get to six figures. And that's a great goal if it's your goal. I want to advocate for building a business that works for you and building a business that you love. And I also want to say that, you don't get to that year one, unless maybe, you've been writing copy for a long time anyway, and you've had a job and now you're breaking into freelance. But, building a business is just that. It's building. You think of a building, where you lay a foundation and then you add on and you structure it the way that you want it to be. And it's really no different with building a business. But here's the thing, because you're building a business and you're taking that risk and you're making that sacrifice, it should be a business that suits you. Now, if making six figures is your goal, great. That's fabulous. You can do that here. If making six figures isn't your goal, don't feel pressured by the drumbeat. It's really fine. And I mean, money is great. I'm a fan of money. I have a multiple six-figure business myself. I think that money is great for the things that money takes care of. There is usually no substitute. And it really helps you to be able to make decisions, to help other people. I have long believed that, money just magnifies who you are. If you're an asshole and you have money, you'll be a bigger asshole that can affect more people. If you're a really good person with a generous heart, you'll be a really good person who can help more people. So money in itself is neutral. It's slips of paper that represents an idea. But the concept of money is really loaded. And I've seen people, I have coaching clients who get really fixated on a number to the detriment of their own business. Like, in other words, they may be scoring wins right and left and getting their business really dialed in. But, last month they made 10,000 and this month they only made 6. So there's a couple of things there. And let me digress for a second into the comparison-itis issue, because a lot of this has to do with what you see other people doing. And people talk about it, and they talk about these big months, and you start to wonder about yourself. And my little caveat here is that I have seen too many times someone bragging about a big month when in fact it wasn't that they booked all that work in the month, it's that their deliverables came due. Right. So, I had a project in January that was 3,000 and, I didn't finish it until, say, March because something happened, whatever. I had another project that I booked at the end of January. I got paid for it. I got paid part then, and then the rest came due in March, just as an example. So, you could have this like crazy big month, and then, the next month looks very different because all these things didn't come due. And so I want to just caution you about that. And I also want to say, for your own purposes, count what you booked in a month. It doesn't matter when that money, well, it does matter when the money is coming in, but like for purposes of seeing what you made in a month, what did you book? Because it's different what you book and what you actually produce can be very different in a month. And I also just want to encourage you to think about the other things that satisfy you besides money. And again, nothing wrong with money, but I have also seen people work their ass off to make a ton of money and burn out, and they're not very happy. I mean, they've got the money, but unless you have a desperate need for money for some reason, I don't think that that's a sound way to run a business. I mean, again, we all get into different situations, and you might need a lot of money. And I also believe that our businesses change. We have seasons in business. Sometimes it really is about making more money. Sometimes it's about dialing your business in more closely. Sometimes it's about working less in a given year, or having, a change in your life that necessitates you working less. I just want to be careful that we don't measure our success by the amount of money we make, but we combine that with the amount of satisfaction that we have. Because, you can make great money and be miserable at a job. There is no reason to make great money and be miserable in your business. One of the things that I like to do in my coaching and in my mastermind is to help people continue to level up. See themselves on a bigger stage. And by that, I mean to have more confidence and see themselves playing a bigger game with better clients. And to me, better clients are people who, know copy or design. They understand it. They buy it. They know how to evaluate it. I'm not talking about, one-off projects and that sort of thing. So I want to really encourage you, as you think about your own business and your financial goals, what else matters to you? What are those financial goals in service to, and what do you want your business to look like? And I mean that literally. Like, do you want to work a certain number of hours a week? Do you only want to work with a certain type of client? Would you only like to write a certain type of copy or design a certain kind of project, for example? Because all of that is available to you. Now, it may not be available to you in your first month, or even in your first year in business. But the thing about building a business is, and you can't see this at the front end, but you'll see it as it grows, your business will get more and more, or it can, if you make the right moves, it can get more and more custom to you so that it suits your life, it suits your needs, and it suits your goals. So I want to, encourage you to set goals and work toward them, but to not punish yourself based on either what you see or perceive other people are doing or where you think you should be relative to your business. It's often not true. What I see more often than not is I see people who undervalue themselves and don't think that they're ready for projects that they probably can take on. And so that's the other thing that you can do is you can, if you're feeling uncertain and you don't know, are you ready? And this is on the topic of setting financial goals, get some outside eyes. I coached someone last week who has been an in-house copywriter at a full-time job that she's still at for quite some time. And now she's launching her own copywriting business. And she wasn't sure about her copy chops, because she hadn't been doing this exact thing for very long or at all. So I told her, send me over some of your copy. Let me see what you've got. And, I've looked at enough copy over the decades. I can tell pretty quickly if someone's got chops or not. And her copy was great. She had no reason to worry at all. And I think, and I've seen that in a lot of cases. So if you're, thinking about finances from that point of view and you really want to get to six figures and you don't know, if you have what it takes or you don't know what it takes, get some outside eyes. Sign up for one of my coaching on demand or copy chiefing sessions. Talk to copy colleagues. Ask people in a group you're in. And don't be afraid of the feedback. Make sure you get someone who knows how to give feedback. Offer constructive suggestions, but also find what works, what can be strengthened, but what already works. Because it's very, you feel very vulnerable when you show your copy. You kind of feel like you're putting yourself and your creativity, your output, your skills. You're kind of putting them on the line. But if you do it with the right person, you're going to get feedback that's going to really help you to see where do you sit in this, in this structure, in this hierarchy, in the world of independent business. So I just want to encourage you to make sure that your goals are your goals and they're what you want to achieve. And you're not trying to achieve some, mythical number because either you think it's the thing to do or somebody told you that that's a measure of success. It certainly can be, but it doesn't have to be. And so just know that, chasing money for money's sake is not always best plan in business. So I hope this helps. If you'd like to be notified when these episodes drop, hit the bell and you will get a notification. And if you have any questions about this, pop them in the notes or in the comments below. I am more than happy to answer them. Okay, catch you next time.